Hi, my name is Wendy and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to paint on glass. So I'm just using a wine bottle and it should have no label or anything. You want to make sure to clean the surface of the glass super good before you start painting on it. That could be with soapy water and then maybe even wiping it down with rubbing alcohol and then make sure it's super duper dry. Some people even like sand the glass to make it a little bit less slippery, but I don't do that. So you can do whatever kind of prep you want. I'm just recommending what I did, which is to clean it, maybe do a little rubbing alcohol and super dry before we start. We're using the multi-surface paint, which I'll link in the description. And so let's go ahead and learn how to paint this fun floral bottle. All right, so today we're going to paint on glass bottle. Now, the technique for painting on glass is a little different than painting on canvas because it's a hard surface, not very absorbent like a canvas, and you're going to be using multi-surface paint. And I'm using this full coat multi-surface paint. This is something you could actually like put in the oven. It can become dishwasher safe. So there's instructions on the paint how to do that. I'm not going to go over that today, but I'm just going to show you how painting on the bottle can go. So we're going to paint some flowers. I'm going to start with some pink flowers and I'm just using primary colors plus black and white. You can buy, they have so many different colors in this paint, so you can buy whatever you like. But I'm going to go ahead and use a small round brush and I'm going to use some red and white mixed together to make a very light pink. So that's going to be my first color that I do. And then I'm going to go kind of just towards the bottom a little bit of the bottle. And I'm going to pull little brush strokes like this. Now, you just want to make one brush stroke. You should have a decent amount of paint on the brush. Just like that. And now I have a flower. And then I can do another one. And I'm just going to make a little kind of ring of 3 flowers right here in the center. And then I'm going to pull one up here towards the top. And it's just each petal has one brush stroke. You just pull with the side of the brush, very easy. Don't make it too complicated. We'll do like one down here. And you can kind of layer on the glass too if you want. You just have to wait for each layer to dry. But I'm going to keep it really simple. So now we have a decent amount of flowers on the glass bottle. And you can like say you do one side and then you can wait for that to dry and then do the other side. I'm just going to paint on one side though, because when you display, if you're going to display it or something, you're really, unless you put it like in the middle somewhere, you might only see one side. So just do what works for your situation. And then I'm going to add another color of flowers and I'm going to do kind of a yellowish, like a dark yellow or like an orange yellow kind of thing, like a light orange or a dark yellow. So it's yellow with just a touch of red, and then I'll put a touch of white. And then I'm going to do some more flowers just like that. Same thing, you're just doing a little ring of petals. You can just choose wherever you want to put them. I'm just kind of gathering them around in this little pocket of space in between the pink ones. Right, so there you have it. We have a fun array of flowers there. And then I'm going to put some leaves coming through. So it can be so easy. This is just our first layer. But our leaves are going to be kind of starting with a dark green. So I'm going to clean the brush and I'm going to go into blue with a bit of yellow. This is a pretty strong blue shade, and I'll link all the shades and everything that I'm using. And then what I can do is I can go in and I'm gonna have like a line that comes from towards the bottom and then pulls up around the tops of the flowers. So see, I'm just making the lines coming up right here. I'm going to do another one, and you can pull down too. So maybe I pull down from towards the top and then pull through the flowers, like as if the stem was just running through these things. So skip in between. And then I can add some leaves. So I like to usually do like a V shape. It's really similar to the flowers. You're just going on the line and then you're going straight, like a straight petal going up, and then a V shape going on either side. And this creates like a fun foliage effect. And you can just have some, you could have some like loose leaves in between, which could look kind of cool if you want. And we'll do another layer to create more depth. So see how we have just our first layer. So good. Okay, I'm gonna have that nice and clean, and then we're gonna add some centers to our flowers. And I want this to be kind of a darker color. So maybe I'm gonna clean the brush, make sure it's clean. I'm gonna do red with a touch of blue. And this is gonna go in the centers. So red with a touch of blue is gonna give you like a purple color. I kind of have, looks a little more red, but that's okay. I'm gonna add a little more blue. I'm just adding it to the middle of the flowers, just a little dab. So there we go. And then what you can do is you could take that color and add a bunch of white to it. So see how it gives us a nice purple color? Maybe I add a little more red and white, so it's not too dark. And then you can kind of pull a little bit of that out into the pink petals if you want, just a little bit. You don't have to though. If you like the way your petals look without adding any more colors to it, you don't need to add more. That's just an idea. Then I'm going to clean the brush off. Let's go and add some more green, and then we'll add some highlights to the flowers, and then we're going to call it done because we're going to keep it really simple how you can paint your bottle. So I'm going to take some green, light shade of green. So I'm just going to add more white and yellow to my initial shade of green. And that's going to make it look lighter. And then I'm going to layer on top of what I already got. Don't cover the first layer all the way though. You're just adding to it. So there we go. Now that looks a lot funner to have the extra color in there. And then last but not least, I'm going to do some white highlights. And you can do more layers if you want. It's really fun to layer. I always tell people, you know, just go for it. You can even add some black. Let's do that first, actually. So let's take some black. And then you can add some lines on or around your leaves or your flowers just to make some more contrast. To see, I kind of outlined the edge of some of the petals or the leaves. You can even do some dots, like maybe around, like say I can go around the top of the center there, or maybe the bottom of the center. Let's do some dots there. So if I go to the center of my flower, go to the bottom and do some dots. Just gives it a fun little detail. You can do it all the way around or just towards the bottom or just towards the top, whatever you want to do. Or you can leave it off. The more little details and layers and shades you put, though, the more interesting it's going to look. So I do recommend it. So however confident you are, you know, add some little dabs and dashes. And again, this is going to add just a little more contrast to the stems of the leaves and stuff. And then we can go in with the white. So the white is going to come right to the tip. Again, I'm going to clean the brush and then go in and just dab a little bit of white towards the top of the inside of your flowers. So just make sure you get every single one that you can get. And then you can even, like, maybe I have like a little dark line here and I can add like little white kind of things coming off of it or something. That could look kind of cool. So see, I can go to my dark lines and add a little bit of white dots coming around them. You can do as much of any of that kind of stuff as you want to add some fun little details to it to make it look more interesting. But I'm going to go ahead and let it go because I want it to be quick and easy. And just to show you how fast and easy you can paint your own, your bottle. So if you have an empty bottle laying around and you're like, you want to create something decorative, you can put little lights inside. It's really easy to do. Now, again, just make sure you're using the multi-surface paint. And then you're gonna be good to go. Thanks for watching.